All right, I believe I am live. Looks like I'm live. Very good, KC. Good to see you. If people can hear me, as I would like to do, could you give me the number one in the chat box if you can hear me? Number one in the chat box if you can hear me. All right, good. People can hear me. Fantastic. And we'll let some more people get logged on here. As always, if you have been here before and you know that you're going to like this, make sure you hit that like button. We are at 4 days in a row of 100 likes. So I would love to, if we can keep it 5 day, make it a 5-day win streak all week long, getting at least 100 likes. So now if you're brand new to the stream, first off, welcome. But yeah, you don't have to hit the like button because you don't know if you're going to like what you're going to see here. But if you already know that you're going to like, make sure you hit that like button. And yes, we will, like I said, I'll let more people get on here before we get into kind of the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about here. Very good. All right. So right now, what we'll do is I'll just kind of take a look at some markets right now while we wait, and we'll take a look at the broad market. I can't wait to introduce everybody to Pam's plant. What did I say? Pam's plant. I can't wait to introduce everybody. Pam's plant is going to be a very powerful thing. I think it is, at least. Let's see. So yeah, yesterday talked about when I started the live stream, we were like right around this area on the chart, give or take, and I was like, uh-oh, things, I'm not quite sure. Things are looking pretty sketchy. And yes, there was that later day breakdown, so just a classic trendline break. But today, yeah, things have definitely reversed itself back around. In fact, the price is now back up above the purple line, their 50 period moving average. And different here is you're getting some more separation. Here, the price was up above it, but you notice it never got any sort of separation. But as of right now, there is getting some separation to the upside. So is there some true bullishness headed into the weekend? We still have quite a few times left on the day. But yeah, right now you got to give credit where credit's due. Things are looking pretty strong. Can go ahead and get rid of that level. But that's kind of the wonder that I'm having moving forward is, can the price stay up above that 50 period moving average? That's, like I said, the big kind of question mark in my mind. We'll see if the price can maintain above it. If it can, then that's definitely a good sign. Still more work that needs to be done, obviously, but it would certainly be a step in the right direction. Easy Clay, it's Friday. Is Pam cute? Her plan is, definitely, yeah. If anybody has any requests right now, like I said, let me know. I can take a look. Let's look at the Qs right now. So same general idea as what I was just talking about on the SPY. It's gotten above that purple line. So right there, that purple line again being the 50 period moving average, just flat out rejected the price, rejected it. Here it got somewhat above it, but could clearly never build any sort of momentum. So now when we look at the current action right here, you can, hopefully see the difference is, okay, now not only is the price up above that level, but in the near term, you can see that level was then behaving as a support and is also starting to get separation to the upside. So encouraging. Again, work that needs to be done, but I'm open to hearing that, okay, maybe the bulls are back. Maybe the bulls are going to make an appearance. As long as the price was down below that purple line, yeah, I was not very convinced of anything like that. But as of right now, yeah, I'm willing to hear that out. I'm willing to... Drew that line there. Did get a break. Nice move through there. We were looking at. So again, if anybody has any requests for anything right now, let me know. Would like to get some more people on here before I start to kind of go into my confession and the experiment. Hey, Mike. Did you go to the webinar last night? I think, if I remember right, didn't you say you were going to be there? I was trying to think if I remember a mic being there, or at least a mic that was at the beginning when I always ask people where they're from. Signed up with your code yesterday. Are you talking about for the prop firm or for the community, or what exactly are you talking about there? You didn't come on, Mike. You said you're going to be there. Come on, Mike. What's NVIDIA up to? Again, if you have a request for a position that you're in, kindly explain lines. These are just trend lines. So NVIDIA here drew this pattern yesterday. Nice bullish pattern. Got the breakout through the pattern. And as of right now, even have the breakout through that pink line there. The very important 200 period moving average. And so right now looking very strong. Like I said, it's already broken out of that pattern. But now it's up through that 200 period moving average and actually starting to get some more push up. So yeah, will this get more momentum as the day plays out? That's a very valid question. Oh, Mike's cussing over there, using that S word. No worse word than the S word. Soon. I'll do it soon. Yeah. And then when soon comes, I'll do it soon. That's a cuss word. The S word. Soon. What is your bias going into the market today? And is it still the same now since it's going back up? Well, that's kind of what I've been explaining. I am bullish right now based off what I was just talking about, I don't know, about 4 minutes ago. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. But yes, I would be hard pressed to not be bullish right now based off of how the SPY is moving, how the QQQ is moving. Hey, Mohammed. By any chance, are you Mohammed from Ethiopia? Were you on the webinar last night? We had a Mohammed that was from Ethiopia, but I don't know if that was you. That was not you? Okay. What is TPT safety net? Well, that depends on the size of the account. And by safety net, I think you mean how much are you allowed to lose. So I think that's what you mean by that. So if you're on the $25,000 account, the amount you're able to lose is $1,500. If you're on the $50,000 account, the amount you're able to lose is $2,000. So that's all right. Well, nobody has any requests. I mean the buffer before you can withdraw money. Yeah, that's what those buffers are too. The buffers are those amounts that I was just showing you. So once you get up above there, that's the buffer. J&J. All right, we'll take a look at J&J quick. J&J. So pretty big pullback right now. I mean, nothing terrible. And then if you consider what was going on beforehand. So in all actuality, make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. So in all actuality, just a nice little bull pennant pattern. So just from a daily standpoint, more a question of does it come down here a little bit more and will it bounce off of those areas right there? And then get a bounce back to the upside. Which, again, no, there are no guarantees, but I would not say that anybody's been irrational to think that it could come down there and then bounce off the bottom of that pattern and then head upwards. Let's drop down to the 30-minute. So 30-minute, looking like we have ourselves a falling wedge pattern, but don't quote me on that until we get it in play. So there's the bottom part, green for support. Yeah, nice falling wedge pattern here on the 30-minute, which is a bullish pattern. Not just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's for sure guaranteed to go upwards, but would anybody be shocked if this all of a sudden, came up here, got to that level and broke and then found some more momentum? No, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. Again, does not mean it's guaranteed to happen, but like I said, I don't think that would catch people off guard. All right. Wow, man, nice breakout there. If you're at the beginning of the stream, you saw me draw that line right there. Not patting myself on the back. I am patting charts on the back, though. Kind of light on viewers today. I was hoping to get up to at least 50 before I kind of do my confession and then give the idea for the experiment. But yeah, I guess I did, to be fair to I've been doing 11:30 and now I tried 11:15. So perhaps that's why viewers are a little light. Or maybe just because it's Friday. I was looking back. I've been streaming now a little over a month. So I would still consider myself pretty brand new to all this. So still trying to figure things out. But I think this lunchtime hour is or this lunchtime period is a good time to do things. Q. How'd everybody do today? Are you green? Are you down money? No trades? I would have missed you if oh, that's what I totally forgot to do. So why is it light? I forgot to let people know I was live. I'm live. So let me do that right now then. Just thinking what? Yeah, usually I let everybody know. So thank you for saying that, Force Fed. That's I think making a little bit of sense. So let me get this sent out to the social media, to my private community, all that. So bear with me. I can't believe I forgot to do that. Do that. Let's hop over to social media real quick. Let's see. There we go. Appreciate your patience. Thank you, Force Fed. Somehow your comment about you almost missed me. I was like, why would you? Oh, because I never let people know. I don't even know. When I schedule it out, does that help anybody when you know what time it's going to be? Because, I try to schedule things out in the morning so it shows up, but I've always wondered, does that actually help, or doesn't YouTube not even suggest anything like that? I don't know. There we go. All right. I would have missed you. Everyone hit the like button. Yes, Joseph, please, everybody hit that like button. As I was telling people, we're on 4 days in a row of 100 likes. So if we could make it 5 of 100 likes, that would be a fantastic thing. Ooh, here comes the pullback. Does it pull back to the 21 EMA? Brandon, hello. Doing a good job, thanks. Mad Mac was down 35 after some fails. Now I'm up to 17. Good job after taking that last rise up. Rather be in the green than the red. No, I agree with that, so I'm done for the day. It ain't much. No, I hear you, Mad Mac, for sure. Hey, Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Usually you tell me where you're from. I think it's Lakeland, Florida. If 100 likes, Clay will go 100 contracts YOLO on NQ. Yup, exactly. That's exactly what I'll do. If we can get 100 likes in the next 5 minutes, I will mortgage my farmland here in Iowa, and we will just go all in. But it's got to be 100 likes within the next 5 minutes. Lakeland, all right, good. I'm starting to get to know the chatters. I know Mad Mac likes the volatility boy. I know Kevin's from Lakeland, Florida. And then some of you, I'm starting to recognize the names. All right, we are at 50. So, okay. So let's just get to the confession so we can get into potentially the experiment here. But who was here yesterday? And when I was talking about that crazy, will the market stay green for next week Fed rates? I mean, I don't know. Will it? I agree. That is the question. Because right now the price is up through, as I was saying earlier, let's just look at the SPY. SPY is finally up above that purple line, which as you see here, it's been a very, very big struggle to not necessarily get above that purple line, but stay above it. And as of right now, the price is above it. It's seemingly staying above it. It's seemingly getting separation away from it. So I don't know if the markets will be green next week, but if you were to say, I think they're going to be green because the bulls are starting to show some signs of strength, I completely would understand your thoughts on why you would say that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still just a guess. Nobody knows. But yeah, I would say, okay, I can see your educated guess. I can see the logic you're using. So again, that doesn't mean that it's for sure going to happen, but I wouldn't call you crazy. Yes, and it also, depends on the Twitter machine. Yeah, and what does Trump have to say next week? That would also play a pretty big role in that too, in terms of are the markets green next week? So anyways, back to the trading here. For anybody that was here yesterday, I was talking about a crazy day that I had on a $150,000 prop firm account, and how I was down, and then I made like a $5,800 trade, and I was up, and then later on in the day, off stream, in the middle of the afternoon, I will confess, I could lose. I had my buffer for the day built up to like 7,800, and I blew up the account. I blew it. It's gone. It's gone. And this is what's got me just thinking right now, and I was kind of just reflecting on things. I have not passed the $150,000 phase yet. Now, what am I talking about real quick? To just build context, and maybe some of you that aren't aware of prop firms. First phase is you have to, quote unquote, prove yourself as a trader, and you've got to pass a test. And I passed test. In fact, for those of you that are longer time streamers, you've seen me pass test on the live stream already. So it's not like I've never passed the test. I've passed multiple tests, but I've never passed 75. I've never even tried. So I don't think I've ever had a 75,000 account. But the other ones I have, but the 150, I think yesterday was like the fourth one I failed at. And the way it works is if you're assuming you use a link, you'll get a certain amount of, which the link right now, 30% off for $252. You'll get $150,000 in buying power for futures. And the goal is to, quote unquote, pass the test to prove yourself. Is you've got to be able to make 9,000. You can take your time. You can do it in however much time you want, but you're not allowed to lose 4,500. And that's what happened yesterday. So the account is gone. So I was just sitting there and like, why am I struggling? Why do I continue to fail the 150? Why can't I pass that one? And I don't know. I'm still thinking through this. So as the title said, give me your thoughts for sure. But I think I have a false sense of confidence, a false sense of maybe aggressiveness, because I am looking and saying, look, and I can lose up to $4,500. I can get up to 15 contracts of the very, very volatile variety, or I can do 150 of the lesser variety. So I have plenty of wiggle room. I can massage. I can be aggressive, because even if I'm aggressive, I still have wiggle room because I got that $4,500. I can build. I think that's what's throwing me off, because when I'm blowing these accounts, I'm getting super aggressive, and then after that I get even more aggressive, and then before I know it, gone. So what I'm thinking, has anybody here passed $150,000 account with Take Profit Trader? I don't want anybody else, because other people have different test requirements. So I know some of them are like, well, yeah, you can just pass in one day. It's like, well, what they're not telling you is, yeah, you can YOLO, but that doesn't really tell me anything, because all that tells me is you took a massive gamble, you YOLO'd, and then yes, you were able to pass the test. So has anybody ever passed a $150,000 Take Profit Trader account? Because what I'm thinking, and again, like I said, just the confession here, I blew up that account yesterday off stream. I am struggling. I have not been able to pass 150 yet. I think, like I said, I think that was my fourth one that I blew up. And as I was telling people, I passed multiple other ones. Never had a 75,000, so I've never even tried on that one. But the 150, it is a struggle. And I think it's just because I have that false sense of security, because you do have more wiggle room, because you do have more purchasing power. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm just doing my thoughts here. You have massive purchasing power, and then you have quite a bit of cushion, because you can lose up to $4,500, which it does take a pretty big effort to lose $4,500. Of course, it's completely possible, but so what I'm thinking and what I'm wondering about as an experiment. And again, if this does not sound interesting, then I won't do it. But maybe the live streams, I'll still take member requests for analysis and stuff like that. Which, by the way, if you do have an analysis of a stock, crypto, Forex, whatever you're in, $5 super chats, I'll get to it right away. Oh, which we're still at $0 in super chats. That's sad. But we're at 30 likes, so good. Only 70 more. So very good. As I was telling people, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. How many accounts are you allowed to blow up? You can keep going. You can keep trying. You can keep trying. So that is a nice thing, is they'll let you keep trying and try again. Now, of course, whenever you try again, it's called an account reset. So if you were to purchase a 150K account, it would cost you $252. But then if you were to blow it up, when you reset, it would only cost you $100. So that it would not be that anymore. It would just be the $100 for a reset. And then, yeah, you can do that as much as you want. So what I'm thinking is the challenge, because I don't even know if it's possible, which is why, kind of an experiment would probably be the better word. But what happens if I try to pass? So I do have another $150,000 account, and I traded it yesterday later on. But I was like, all right, let me just really reduce position size. And the most I'm going to do is 5 micros. So doing that, I was still able to make $228 in just a few trades. So I started at 150. It's up to 228.50. But that was only at 5 micros, which got me thinking, okay, maybe for the live stream, would it be good content? Would it be helpful to people? And that's the main thing. I want it to be helpful because honestly, from a straight up business perspective, if what I'm doing is helpful to you, it's going to be helpful for me via a business side of things. So, that's how successful businesses are built, right? The business is providing a good or service that is helpful to you. So I'm trying to think what would be helpful to the viewers. And maybe if we just do an experiment, and I'll kind of be the crash test dummy, and we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But could we pass a $150,000 account by just going the opposite way? Because I think, as I was just explaining, my theory is I'm being way too aggressive. I have a false sense of security because I have all this wiggle room. But what happens if we go the other spectrum and just do at most 5 micros in a trade? Would that be enough to pass? How long would it take to pass? So that's the experiment that I'm kind of thinking through. So if you're liking this, please hit that like button. Even just like a $2 super chat, because I know some of you have already used your like, but not even a $5, but like a $2 super chat, just simply for feedback. That's what I'm wondering is, could we do some sort of experiment? Like, do you think that would be helpful to you? Where I'm kind of the crash test dummy, and we'll just run an experiment and see what sort of happens in that regard. Do you think taking trades live that are not super logical has bled into your off-air trading? No, because I was blowing up 150,000 accounts before I ever started live streaming. So no, I mean, valid thought, but no, I don't think so. Sounds like you just got too aggressive, maybe scaled down. No, exactly, Mad Mac. That's the whole kind of idea, and I realize I'm a little behind in the chat here. Oh, here we go again. Clay, most prop firm traders do pass or smash, so you gamble your evals to pass them in one trade or blow them. Well, yeah, but that's why I'm isolating it to Take Profit Trader, because Take Profit Trader has rules against that very thing. And I understand that's what most streamers do, but I'm trying to be different than most streamers. I'm trying to stand out. So I'm just trying to think, what would be helpful to you as a viewer? Because as I was just saying, I'm a businessman too, and my theory is if you can be helpful to the customer, well, that's going to be helpful to your business. So that's why I'm asking if we, use some sort of, don't use it. Mohammed, you've seen my trades. Yes, I use a stop loss. So this, I'm sorry, Mohammed, I apologize. I did ask for your thoughts, so you're giving me a thought. But yes, I do use a stop loss. But when I get too aggressive with the position size, sometimes stop losses no longer matter because things add up against you too quick, and it's kind of game over. But that's the whole point of feeling overly confident is, okay, let me get a little loose with the stop loss. That's all encompassed in that statement, Mohammed. So again, I apologize. You're just throwing your thoughts out there. That's what I asked for. So I do apologize for that. Okay, so no super chats and barely any likes. So maybe this is not a good idea for an experimentation. That's fine. Like I said, I just was throwing it out there. to get what people thought. But that is what I was thinking, is maybe I try to just, like I said, run the experiment, 5 micros at best, and see if we can pass a $150,000 account, because I've not yet been able to do that. Been able to pass the other ones. And again, this is Take Profit Trader. These ones actually require skill to pass the test. Other companies, yeah, people pass the test, but it actually requires zero skill, because they allow you to YOLO, go all in, and you can pass in one trade on one day. That's not how Take Profit Trader works. And the reason for that is those other companies, they then get you and they make you trade for a lot longer in all actuality. So it sounds good. Wait, why would you do Take Profit Trader if the test is more difficult? Well, it's more difficult. It requires more skill, because in all actuality, you get closer to getting money quicker than any of those other payouts or than any of those other prop firms. So yes, other prop firms make it sound good because you can pass in a day. But what they're not telling you is the next phase before you can ever start to request money is actually longer than what that whole phase would be for Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader, if you played everything perfectly, you could literally start to request real money into your bank account within 6 days. Other prop firms, it's going to be longer than 6 days, in some situations by quite a bit, and then they cap the amount you can request. So 150Ks are a pain to pass. That's what I'm realizing right now, Raider. No, I'm not doing top. No, Top Step. In fact, I'm going to hide that because I don't even want people going there. They are doing all sorts of sketchy stuff. So no, I'm not even going to bring up that name. I've put my name next to Take Profit Trader because I am pleased with them. They pay quickly. I know many members in our community that have been paid. They have very good customer service. They have a good quality CEO. They have, they didn't just show up last week. So yeah, I want to keep it focused on that. Wow, look at that. So what do people think about that? Like, hit that like button. Do you like the idea of just running an experiment? Let me be the crash test dummy and seeing, is it actually possible to potentially pass a $5,000 or $150,000 account with 5 micros? If that sounds like something of interest, give me a number 5 in the chat box. 5 in the chat box. 5 to communicate you like, we'll call, I don't know, the 5 micro challenge, the 5 micro experiment. 5 micro experiment. Is that something that you would find interesting? Again, it might be a massive failure, but okay. All right. I think we'll give it a try. Wow, nice. 41 likes already. Again, I'd like to try to get this up to 100. So if you're enjoying, well, then that's what we'll do. And I don't know, this could be a train wreck, but like I said, I want to try to offer something a little bit different. And I don't know. I don't know all the live streamers out there. So I maybe what I'm doing, you'd just be like, dude, they do that. This person does that. That other person is already doing that. Yeah, fine, fair enough. But like I said, there's already plenty of people out there just to watch them trade. But I want to, maybe let's try to run some experiments here and try to learn. And also my goal ultimately is to convert all of you that trade stocks, crypto, Forex, or options into futures traders. So as an do you think it's worth it to get the 100 account if I only plan to trade around 20-ish micros? Yeah, I think so, JMO. The reason why I'm still a believer in the bigger accounts, but I think maybe like I said, it's a false sense of security for me, is if you do 100, then you have yourself $3,000 worth of wiggle room that you could lose. Whereas, with the $25,000 account, which again is not bad, I passed 25,000, I passed 100 challenges, is you only have 1,500. Now that's still plenty to work with. Don't get me wrong, but that's one argument. And there's many arguments out there about which prop firm size you should do, and a lot of people make the argument from the reference point of, well, you want more drawdown, you want more wiggle room of money you can lose. Others would say, well, with the 25,000. You only have to make 1,500 before you pass, but you only got 1,500, so you got to be you got to be careful, because if one gets away from you, 25,000 can be gone just like that. So again, no right or wrong reason. If you trade over 10 micros, don't trade micros. Go trade 1 mini. It's less commission. I don't know if that's true. In fact. I don't speak. So if you're doing 10 at 0.25, yeah, no. What are you talking about, right? No, it's the exact same. Because 1 E-mini is $2.50 to buy. Micros are 25 cents to buy. So 10 times 25 cents is 250. It's the exact same thing. So Raider for life. Incorrect, sir. At least with Take Profit Trader. The commissions are the exact same. I don't know who you're using, but that's not how it is on Tradeovate. So yeah, no, that's definitely not how it works on Tradeovate. That's for sure. Okay. 3 more likes to 50. That would be fantastic. All right. Well, then we are going to do that. Now, just out of curiosity, do you trade Forex? No, Forex is pure and utter garbage. And I'm gonna introduce everybody to Pam's plant, but very quickly. So, and I go, maybe I just offended you by saying Forex is garbage, but I'm gonna give you Pam's plant, and I would challenge you, how is Forex better than Pam's plant? Okay. But very quickly, how many here don't know what futures are or you've never traded futures? So give me a 1 if you either don't know what futures are or you've never traded futures. They would have to be the same or there wouldn't be a reason to trade. Okay, Raza Ali, I think, in verse Ace, you've heard this before and you're still not doing futures. So I'm not sure what's holding you back. Thomas, you already heard this yesterday. I don't know what's holding you back. Okay, so we have some people that have either another traded futures or they don't know what they are. So, and I'm going to make a statement here, and then I'm going to introduce everybody to Pam's plant. Finally got this figured out, but I'm going to make the claim real quick. If you, and we're in the category of day trader. I want to be a day trader. I want to day trade. So if you're in that category, stocks, options, Forex, and crypto are a waste of time. They're absolute garbage. Verse Ace, do you mean Take Profit Trader? Take Profit Trader, you purchase an account, and then during the checkout phase, that's what you're going to want to select, because that's who I'm using. Okay, well, Raza, you should be trading them because you are wasting your time. So why do I say futures are way better? Well, let me introduce you for the first time on the live stream to Pam's plant. Okay? Now I get it. Shouldn't Pam's only have one S? Yes, it should. But to make this work, this is what I had to go with. So why are futures better than everything else from a day trading standpoint? Well, first, if you're in stocks or options, you have to deal with that pattern day trading rule, right? Unless you have $25,000, you're not allowed to day trade as much as you want. So right there's no pattern day trading rule within the world of futures. So that in and of itself should be good enough for you stock and options traders to be like, wait, what? I don't have to deal with the pattern day trading rule. I'm going to try it out. So that'd be reason number 1. They're open around the clock. Now they are open they're closed on Saturdays, but besides that, for argument's sake, they are essentially open all the time. So if you have a busy schedule, there's always going to be a spot where you can find, assuming you don't work 24 hours a day, but there's going to be a spot for you to be able to find time to trade them. Movement. They move, and I'm going to show you that here once we get some live trades on. And you have a very, very good ability to control how much movement you're getting. And that's what I think is the most powerful thing, because when it comes to, okay, well, is this going to give me enough movement, which is what we need as day traders? Oh, that was too much movement. Well, you know what? With futures, it's very easy to scale down the movement within your position in P&L. And I'll show you what I mean with that. You can short whenever. I know a lot of people show up and they're like, I'm going to short penny stocks, I'm going to short micro caps because they're all garbage and they'll go down and they're very volatile. Okay, that's fine. But then you have to do the hassle of, okay, I got to locate shares. I got to pay locate fees, and you have to pay all these extra fees. And if you're in that world, you know exactly what I mean. It's a hassle. It costs extra money to locate stuff. And then you're in very volatile situations where you could just get absolutely crushed, and it's your own money, which we'll get to here in a little bit on how, that Pam's plant overcomes that. And then the other S, just stop scanning. You don't have to spend your money on scanners. You don't have to waste your time on scanning because you're going to know what you're going to trade every single day. Because futures give you multiple opportunities, the same thing every single day. And then we move into the plant, right? And that is prop firm power. Prop firms give you all sorts of flexibility within your trading. Number 1, low capital required. So what do I mean by that? Well, let me just show you that real quick. So in order to get some purchasing power, so $25,000 of purchasing power is going to cost you $105, assuming you use that link that you see on the screen there. Oh, wait, I needed to take that off before I talked about Pam's plant. That's all right. $50,000, only going to require you 119. And then for the max one, 150,000 in purchasing power, cost you 252. So you do not need a whole lot of money in order to get involved in futures trading with the prop firm because, well, low capital is required. And then there is that added risk control, and it comes in two forms. Number one, there are rules that the prop firm is going to put upon you, but these rules are good because they're going to force you to think about risk. They're going to force you to manage risk. They're going to force you and get your mind into the place that we need to be as traders anyways, and that is the risk management department. Trading is not about making money. Blind, drunk monkeys can make money. Trading is about what you do when you're wrong. Trading is about how do you handle those losing situations where you are just wrong, and that's okay to be wrong. So that is where risk management comes into play, and they will force you to focus on that stuff because of those rules. And then it just protects your money, because if you go out there and do something really stupid in, whatever you're trading, and you go and you lose a bunch of money. So let's say you're doing 25 and you go out there and you just lose your mind. You have a bad day. You go on tilt. You do something really stupid. Or maybe you're fine, but you just caught in a crazy move. I mean, the markets do make crazy moves. And all of a sudden, boom, $1,500. Now, within the world of prop firms, yes, you would have failed the test. They would take the account away from you. Yes, you can always get another account, but you would have technically failed. So it's one of those situations where like, oh, wow, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. So the question becomes, what does the but I learned a lot actually cost you? Well, with a prop firm, it would cost you $105. Sure, you lost $1,500 within the account. However, it wasn't that amount that's coming out of your bank account. It was only the $105 to purchase the account. Whereas if you're using your real money, but I learned a lot could realistically cost you $1,500. So very, very attractive from that risk control aspect where, you know what, you're going to survive a lot longer, because if a whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot is only costing you $105 compared to $1,500, you can see how that math works out. And then nuclear explosion growth, known as copy trading. So with Take Profit Trader, you can get up to 5 accounts and then you can copy them. So let's say you make one trade on one account, but then you copy it to the 4 other accounts. And let's say you make $100 on that trade. You actually just made $500, right? Because you made just only one trade, but because you copied it to the 4 other, then technically speaking, the way it works is you made 5 trades for $100 each, meaning you now all of a sudden have $500. So you can see there how the growth can be very, very explosive. Now, of course, that's a two-sided coin. If you don't know what you're doing, then yes, the destruction can be very, very quickly. But that's just a phase where once you start to prove that you can do it and all that, I mean, there is that potential there. And then the tax reporting is easy. With a prop firm, all they do is send you a 1099. So when it comes tax time, you don't have to submit, a wheelbarrow full of paperwork to your accountant. You give them that one 1099 form, and you're good to go. So that is Pam's plant. If anybody is here and would like to try to refute Pam's plant, I'm all for it. If you think that stocks can overcome Pam's plant, if you think that options can overcome Pam's plant, if you think that crypto or Forex can overcome Pam's plant, I would love to hear it. But I have never heard an argument that is able to overcome Pam's plant. The only thing I've heard is an ad hominem attack, which is a logical fallacy where they attack me. Clay, you're just saying that because you want them to use your link so you make money. It's like, Clay, you're just doing that because you're a scumbag. Clay, you're just doing, and it's like, okay, let me just assume all those are true. I'm a scumbag. I'm doing it only because I want money. Let's just assume worst case scenario about me. That's not addressing Pam's plant. That's addressing me. So nobody has ever addressed Pam's plant. People have attacked me and my motives and this, that, and the other, but that's attacking me. That's not attacking Pam's plant. So I challenge you. I get it. Maybe I offended you by calling and saying you're wasting your time with stocks, crypto, Forex, and options as a day trader. Wasted your time, waste of your capital. But again, by all means, try to overcome Pam's plant. What's the split? Thank you, Matt. There we go. So there we go. So that is Pam's plant. That is why I argue for futures, and I argue for futures through a prop firm. So there's the spiel on that. If you like Pam's plant, hit that like button. And I'm curious, do you think I summarized, for those of you that are already believers, that are already doing futures with a prop firm, would you say that I pretty much summarized, the reasoning? Like if this was a court of law in the world of the markets, This would be, if I was a lawyer representing the futures market or representing the best way to day trade, this would be my approach. Raza, with all due respect, just focus on passing the test first. Practice the test, and then you can get to that. You make enough money, they're going to move you to Pro Plus. That's how you get there. You just keep making money. There's no need to overcomplicate it. You just keep making money, they're going to move you there. But at the same time, let's take it one step at a time. First, you got to get through that initial test phase. All right, so there is Pam's plant. So anybody that is doing stocks, the main problem for me, you can't do swing trading, only day. Well, that's what I said, Thomas, then you don't fit the category. My category was day trading. Why are you doing swing trading? Why don't you do day trading? Thomas? Ow. All right. So for those of you that are logging on, we are going to do an experiment. We got enough agreement that we're going to try to pass $150,000 account, which I have not yet done. I've struggled with it. But my theory is I've been too aggressive. I've had a false sense of security because I have these bigger accounts, because I have these bigger purchasing power and all this. But we're just going to take it slow and steady. Good summary, Clay. Pam's plant. Yes. I don't think. Are you always trading the 1 minute? No, this is the 2 minute. And I am also watching other time frames off screen. Remember, I have multiple monitors, so what you see is not the only thing I'm watching. All right. So let's see if we can find. Already at 55 likes. Very good. Short here, and by all means, leave your thoughts if you have a suggestion. I want this to kind of be a group effort too. Again, it's an experiment, so I'm not even going to call it a challenge because I am the crash test dummy, and that's going to be kind of the angle I take. Is let's see if just running experiments can be helpful for you. Because if you are like, I was thinking about doing that, but after seeing that experiment, I'm not quite sure that's the best way to go about it. Then good, you've learned something, you've gained some value at my expense, hence me being the crash test dummy. Elliot is too smart for me. I don't know what POC means. He's using cool kid lingo. Could I take that long? That's a pretty big stop. It would have been better down here, but I was too late to have bought the break of that high because then I could have had a tight stop, but I'm a little late. Point of control. Yeah, I don't know what point of control is. Elliot is just on a whole nother plane of lingo. He's using really cool lingo that I don't know what that means. Quick question. How do you get positions with P&L on the bottom of the chart? Hey, you know what? Thank you for asking that. Now I can actually just give people an answer real quick. So just yesterday, I did this video. So you can go there. It's how I set up my chart. So Jim Lee, and I guess anybody else that is interested, there we go. That is how I set up the chart. So that should hopefully be helpful. Been watching you. Well, thank you, Elliot. I like when cool kids are watching me that use cool lingo. All right, I can get rid of that at this point. Maybe we're getting something like this in play. Yeah, I use volume profile sometimes. Nice, at 63 like. No super chats, though. Man, this is brutal. Oh, do we buy the pullback here? Buy there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's, and I want to just, so I'm going to start at 1 because I want to show you the bare minimum of volatility. So if you were to move to futures, I would recommend starting with the MNQ. That is the less volatile variety. And I'm going to do just one contract. So what I want you to watch is this number down here and just ask yourself, how do you feel about that number? So that's the key dynamic. How do you feel about that number, assuming we can get a little bit more of a pullback here? Because this will be the bare minimum. Now, when I'm doing 5 micros, things may be more volatile than what you would be comfortable with. So in that situation, the solution would be to lower them down. But in this situation, yeah, let's get a buy right here. Hey, I appreciate that, Evil Shadex. And then a sell right there. So if the price can pull down to that green line here, then, again, if you're new to futures, watch that level right there. Because I made the claim, part of Pam's plan is that there's movement and that you can control the movement. So first thing we got to do is just be able to see the movement. And I want you to watch that right there. Oh, come on. So who's buying this trend line? Who doesn't trust the trend line? Let me know in the chat box. Do you trust this trend line? Do you not? See if it wants to pull down to that green line. Hey, Dale. No trust. Did you hear the confession earlier, Dale? Dale is a member of my community. The big advantage of call options, you can only lose what you put in. Well, yeah, that's not an advantage. Because in options, you have to deal with theta. You have to deal with picking out strike prices. You have to deal with all the Greeks. I mean, theta is the biggest thing. Theta in options is terrible. And with, come on, Thomas, come on, buddy. I just explained. Your only risk, you know how much is at risk? The cost of the account. That's the most you could lose is the cost of the account. You can make a bunch of money and then you can make way more. But then if you have a really bad day and you lose, in this situation, $1,500, you didn't lose $1,500. You just lost the account, which cost you $105. So get that. Well, you know what you're going to lose in options. No. Bad logic, not persuasive, because the exact same thing exists in a better, more efficient way with prop firm futures. Because again, futures don't have any sort of theta, right? For anybody that's ever traded futures, let me do this. They know that this action right now, this is terrible for futures, for options when you're buying options, because theta, right? Theta is eroding. Theta is eating away at the value of your contract. Your contract value is going down when prices go sideways because of theta. Now, if you've never traded options, you have no idea why is this guy speaking Greek. Don't worry about it. But options traders, they know. And if they don't know, then they shouldn't even be trading options, because to be buying options and not knowing what theta is, you cray-cray. You cray-cray. Is 100 for retest on all accounts? Yes, Mohammed. I don't know. This trend line's looking a little attractive. We could have stopped. Oh, look at that. Rejecting right off of it. Numbers are too choppy for me right now. Watching it myself. Fair enough. What does the profit target mean? That means how much you need to make in order to pass the test. I know Greeks. Well, then you know how annoying they are, Thomas. So why are you subjecting yourself to something so annoying? Now, I realize if you're selling options, theta is your friend. But that's where we get into, you're not going to beat Pam's plant, because Pam's plant, remember, low capital required. If you start to sell options, you need a lot of money for that. You need a lot of capital. Yeah. Should I get a t-shirt? You cray-cray? Dealing with theta on the front, trading with theta, and on the back, you cray-cray. There's a t-shirt idea. If anybody goes with it, I want 20%. So there's the break of that line. Not a whole lot of follow through, but we'll see. Nice at 65 likes. Again, right now the goal is just to show people that are maybe new what sort of movement that they could expect within the world of futures. Because I'm the first one. I am trying to convert you. I am trying to convert you out of the cesspool of options, stocks, Forex, and crypto, and bring you into futures trading with a prop firm because of Pam's plant. Pam's plant is undefeated so far. Okay, where was that original? Yeah, let's go buy, sell, stop. There we go. So we'll see if this can pull here. Clay, you don't show how to put positions on the bottom of the screen. Yes, I do, Jim. If you watch that video, it's in that video. Did you see the video I linked you to? And you for sure did not watch the whole video, because the whole video is like 20 minutes, and you made that comment like 10 minutes ago where I watched it. So you didn't watch the whole thing. That's like the people that you have all the information there, and then they skim through it, and they're like, hey, then they ask a question about it. It's like, it's there. You have to read. You can't skim. That you did not watch the whole thing, Jim. You said where I watched it. Well, did you watch the whole thing last night or did you just watch bits and pieces of it? Because it is 100% for sure guaranteed. I go over how to get this stuff down here. Like guaranteed. No, you did not. You did not watch it. I do not believe. Okay, maybe you watched it, but you maybe were watching Netflix on the background. Were you watching like Gilmore Girls in the background? I'm telling you, Jim, it's there. Like for sure. Were you watching Dawson's Creek in the background? Am I revealing my age right now? Raza, you've been saying that for years. You just have thin skin. That's right. Am I a tough teacher or do you just have thin skin? That's the question. That's the great that's the great philosophical question. Am I tough or do you have thin skin? That is the great debate. So again, if I get filled, for those of you that are new to futures, never seen them, I want you to watch that number. That'll be the key number and ask yourself, how do you feel about that movement? Clay is savage. I mean, again, that's a very deep philosophical question. Am I a savage or are you a peasant? I don't know. I don't think that doesn't really work. That would be like, am I nobility or are you a peasant? So I take that back. Bad analogy. Sorry again, if Forex is working out, do you reckon I stop and go on to futures? Okay, we're getting close to my entry point here. Okay, watch that number right there. Ask yourself, how do you feel about that number? If you're saying, Clay, that number is a little too slow for me. Remember, I said, Pam's plant, you can control the movement. All you would do is come up here and make that number higher. You know what, let's make the first, no, I just got to give it time. Let's see if it wants to come up. Again, just watch that number. I'm only doing one. This is the bare minimum of movement that you could expect in the world of futures. And again, if it's not fast enough for you, then the solution is right up here. Come on. There we go. Moving my stop loss above. There we go. Now this is for sure a winning trade. Going to move it some more. Let's move it some more. Now it's just a question of how much do I make because I don't know how high this is going to go. And stopped out there. So there you go. First trade of the experiment. We're at $17. We rich. Okay. So again, for those that were like, Clay, that was what? All that, $17, dude. You just Pam's plant. You just bragged up futures like it was the greatest thing ever. Again, if you did not like that, if you're like, no, I need more movement. Remember I said Pam's plant. Let's show Pam's plant real quick. Right here, the M, movement, and ability to control it. Well, how do you control that movement within Pam's plant? What am I talking about? Well, right here, that was a $150,000 account that I'm using. On that, I could have raised that number that you saw at 1. I could have taken that up as high as 150. So do you see what I mean by your ability to control the movement? You could have changed that 1 up as high as 150, okay? So that's the M of Pam's plant right there. The movement is there in futures and your ability to control it. So there we go. Hit that like button if you're enjoying. Hit that like button if you're excited about the experiment we're running. Again, we are trying. I've struggled to pass a $150,000 account. I've been too aggressive. So we're swinging to the other side of things and saying, well, what happens if we go very conservative? Is it actually possible to pass a $150,000 account on the conservative side? So if you are enjoying this experiment, hit the like button. Of course, I'll never turn down a super chat. Sorry again, if Forex is working out, well, I would argue that futures can work out even better because futures will allow you to be more productive with your capital. Because again, I had somebody ask yesterday, well, if I have $2,000, can I make $50 with stocks? And the answer is no. You cannot make $50 every day with stocks because there's that pattern day trading rule. So, and then I showed how if you took that $2,000, you could buy like 10 different prop firm accounts. And, so I mean, just from a capital perspective, I'm glad that it's working out in Forex, but if you were to take that strategy and move it into futures with the prop firm, I would argue you're going to have a better flexibility with your capital. Well, that was disappointing. Came up, no follow through. Now we're pulling back more. Clay is a cowboy. I don't know about that. I'm something. I don't know if it's a cow. I mean, now if you called me a Viking, that would be the ultimate compliment. I am German, so my ancestors were barbarians. My ancestors overthrew the Roman Empire. Now, you could make the argument, no, the Roman Empire overthrew the Roman Empire because of the economics and the debt and blah, blah, blah. But I would say my ancestors, they're Germanic tribes. So if anything, I'm a barbarian. I'll take a cowboy, though. I joined a bit late. Can you explain your new... I think Brian, I think I was there for the explanation. Maybe let's see. Can somebody explain to Brian the new experiment? So that will tell me, am I even explaining it the way I think I'm explaining it? So if somebody would be kind enough to explain to Brian the new experiment, that would be helpful. Because that would, like I said, then I'll know, am I explaining it right or not? 50's looking pretty interesting. We have a pivot point here at 19,600. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting spot down there. That trend line, I still have faith in it. I could still see it having relevance. The problem is, no, it's got, okay, is this going to be one of these tricky ones? Because it did do a fake right there. Basically, he said he was being too aggressive, and now he is slowing down. Growing 1K trading stocks is impossible. Level 2 data feeds, commissions, been there. Exactly. Trying to grow 1,000 trading in stocks is just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Force fed, yeah, you're spot on. That's exactly it. I'm German. Well, look, there we go, Thomas. You also have ancestors that were barbarians. Okay, I'm getting some decent. Yeah, I don't know if I like this enough to do the max 5 because that is the experiment. The most I can do is 5 micros. Technically, it started yesterday. I made $280, but just starting it now, and we'll see what happens with it. Again, I want to be the crash test dummy. I will be the crash test dummy of the futures prop firm world. So if you have ideas for other experiments, let me know. All right, is this, okay, let's do this. If we can get a bounce, nope. Yeah, I can go with that. So I'm going to buy one there, but this can't drop down much further because then I'm not going to like the risk profile on it. But if this wants to come up here, I'll get long. I was down 800 year and now I'm back to neutral. I've learned a lot. I've learned that I suck at shorting right now. Interesting. Only been catching buys. Well, cool. We all have our strengths. And thank you again for the super chat. So again, let's see if this thing, nope. All right, got to cancel that out because the risk profile would now be too much because my stop would have to be somewhere like down here. And no, that's too much of a risk profile for me. So I'm going to cancel that order out and we'll have to go back to the drawing board. I am interested down around 19,600. So we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. This is great. We're not even an hour in and almost, well, kind of almost. Let's do this. Can we get 2 more likes? That way we're at 75 and we're not even at an hour in yet. I think that would be a new record. Can we get 2 more likes if you're enjoying? Buy back at 19,603 to 08. Yeah. I see where you're at, JD. I can see that logic. I would not. In fact, we're broadly on the same page. Clay keeps blowing 150K accounts, so he believes he has a false sense because the trailing has a lot of wiggle room. So to control that, you do good. Yeah, okay, good, Matt. I would say that's a good explanation of the challenge. So yeah, Brian, you've gotten some explanations of the challenge, or it's not a challenge. It's just an experiment. I'm the crash test dummy. This is an experiment. Thank you for your time. That was supposed to say yesterday. The super chat is glitched on my phone for some reason. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're back to neutral. And yes, I can take a look at NVIDIA on the daily. For those of you that are wondering, I do take $5 super chats to take a look at any position and give some thoughts on it. So you asked for the daily, NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is doing pretty well, at least last I checked. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to do this for you, Casey. I'm going to drop down to the 30-minute because I think the 30-minute is showing a better picture. So on the 30-minute, I had this pattern drawn in yesterday, and you can see not only did it get the break of the pattern, better yet, it struggled with the 200 period for a little bit, but it even now has a push up through there. Now, since the last time I looked at it, it has pulled back a little bit, but even with the pullback, notice price is still above that 200 period moving average. So now if the price falls below there, it doesn't mean the entire breakout's ruined. But, you know, as far as right now, this is looking about as strong and as attractive as it can get. Even if it wasn't necessarily above the pink line, at least you could still make the argument that the 30-minute has got the breakout of this pattern here. But you got both. You got the breakout of the pattern and the breakout of the 200 period moving average. So yes, as of now, NVIDIA is looking very, very solid. Yeah, there's a little bit of a pullback here, but you know that's just a couple of candles. It's taking a step back. You know, the bulls have broken out a couple of key things here. Yeah, see, I was thinking, could you buy the high there, but I don't know. That still seems like kind of a wide stop loss. Maybe I'm being a little too antsy on that. Nice, 77 likes. Let's get this up to 300, or not 300 would be cool. Let's get this up to 100. Thank you for the advice to use what I'm doing and transfer it to futures, and the fact you use tough teacher is a good thing. I love learning in hard way, shows the compassion. I think you mean passion, but you might be making a deep argument that a tough teacher is actually having compassion because they want you to succeed, so that's why they're being tough. Yeah. I mean, you could potentially go short there, but this, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion at least, this is still an uptrend. Yeah, it's pulling back a little bit deeper, but I still like 19,600. Did you watch it again, Jim? Hey, I appreciate you at least trusting me enough to give it another try. So thank you for doing that. But I understand, Jim. You were watching Dawson's Creek. In the background, you had Dawson's Creek on and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So you just got distracted. It happens. It happens. You're watching Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman in the background. I get it. I get it. I mean, that's. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think the last time I heard that one was like, I want to say I was in like 3rd grade. I don't know. This is rolling over. In hindsight, yeah, I guess that could have worked for a scalp, but I don't really trust it. Nice hammer here. Been trading a lot better since I've slowed down. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Less is more. Slowing down is actually going faster. Sounds backwards, but yeah. I mean, because that's what's been roasting me on the 150. I mean, think about the test that I passed on the live stream. You know, I was just taking it methodically. Granted, that one day. I mean, it's just a single trade, and I got a nice big winner. But yeah, 150K, you want to pass. I say go max 15 contracts and scalp. Maybe you have to reset to. Thank you, Fazil, but like you literally just described the reason why I'm going the opposite direction. But maybe, yeah. I think maybe you had to reset 2 to 3 times. I think you might have to reset more than that. Especially, I am talking within the context of take profit trader. Your plan of action may be okay with some prop firms, But I don't like the longer periods. I like to try to get to the point of being able to get money as quick as possible, which is what Take Profit Trader gives you. Those other accounts, yes, they will allow you to do that where you can just YOLO gamble and then you can quote unquote pass in one day. Problem is, what people don't realize is, but now the period before you can ever actually get paid is like almost 2 weeks. Whereas with Take Profit Trader, if you played it perfectly, then in theory, you could be making money on day 6. All those other prop firms that are like, you can pass in one day. No. The most you could, or the soonest you could be making money is like 8 or 9 days, even though you passed on the first day. Because the next phase, where all the rules kick in, that's where it gets a lot more complicated. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Fazil, but I am saying we're kind of talking in different categories. I am in the category of Take Profit Trader. Again, if you are a stock trader, an options trader, crypto trader, forex trader, you're wasting your time. And you want to be a day trader, you're wasting your time. You're not being efficient with your capital. Those things are absolute garbage. Now, if that offends you, that's okay. But I would be happy to introduce you to Pam's Plant. Pam's Plant will explain everything. So that trend line worked out well. Now, if this wants to come up here and then just kind of bounce her, oh, that was come up here and then go sideways a little bit. So come up here and then just go sideways and then make a move. I could see myself being interested in that. But if this thing just goes straight up, yeah, that feels like too much like chasing. To buy the breakout of the trend line on this candle or even the next candle, not a big fan of that. I think I need to clean out my mouse. Let's see what it wants to do. Again, I would not feel comfortable buying the break. If the breakout happens on this, even on this candle right here, that's got me freaked out. But if it, like I said, wants to go good, if it wants to go sideways here for a couple more and then make the break, I'll take that. Should have a tight little stop, which is what I like. Let's try to get 20 more likes. Can we get 20 more likes? The MAs make a bearish crossover. Thomas, I think that was you yesterday talking about MA crossovers. MA crossovers are, moving averages are a lagging indicator. It's based on data that has already happened. So, I mean, like, did you need a bearish crossover to tell you that there's a pullback occurring right now? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think most of us realize that via the function of the downtrending trend line. Yes, if there's a downtrending trend line, that's going to happen before moving averages cross over. So, me personally, I'm not a big fan of moving average crossovers because it's a lagging indicator. It's telling us what's already happened anyways. Clay, I hope you never stop these lives. I just love it too much. Well, we'll see what happens. I want to keep growing these. Wednesday, I think we had up as high as 115 concurrent viewers, which was a record. So my next goal is 125. And then from there, 150. Just as a personal goal, I'd like to one day, could I get 1,000 people concurrent? I don't know. We'll see. But if this whole crash test dummy thing kind of catches on, maybe that will spark some more interest. Glad to get back to the job, but fantastic. Thanks, Matt. Have a good one. See, now this is annoying because this really throws off the risk profile. Had there been just a small little lower wicks here, then you buy the breakout. You got to stop right below those lows, and it's kind of either a breakout or you get out because it doesn't go in your favor. But this long wick here, that's kind of messed up the profile a little bit. 15 more likes. Let's go. BC, you are, I think you may be the most stubborn person yet. I've done setup videos for you. I've done this and that, and you still won't make the commitment, BC. BC, the most recent chat, maybe the most stubborn person I've ever talked to. Thanks, Mark. Well, we only need 11 more likes, so let's keep it going here. Okay, now I can play ball with this a little bit. If this low or something very similar can hold true, whoops. If this can hold true, and then we have the price, kind of chop around and then come out and break, you could buy that break with a stop right there, and you got a very minimal risk. And if that thing explodes, then you could be looking at a very solid situation. Like I said, I want to see this build out a little bit and then make the move. Oh, Frank, what are you doing, Frank? All right, Frank, I do this because I love you, and it's going to turn into a great example. I'm bringing this over so for people in the archive, people can see I'm not making this up. I'm looking 1 week. I'm in cash. Trust me, I know, and we'll work on this. I have $2,000 to play with and used it all today in SUNE. Made $72. So Frank had to use $2,000 to make $72, okay, on SUNE. So let's take a look at SUNE real quick. See what happened with SUNE. I mean, this is Pam's plant. I mean, SUN. Was this a penny stock, I think? Okay. So right here was here and made the move up there. So I want you to think about this distance. So $2,000 he had, and he made $72 off of that move right there. Okay, $72 off that. So just keep that in mind. And now let's move back to here. So here's that distance here, but we won't even do that. Let's just take a look at something much more modest. And let's take a look at this distance here. From here up to here. That's a difference if you were to do the math, 20. And in the world of futures, these are known as points. So that is a 20-point distance right there. And if you're doing futures, and we'll just make the math easier, but if you're doing one of the volatile ones, so one of the volatile ones, 1 point equals $20. Okay? So every point equals $20 because in futures, you don't measure things dollars and cents. It's in points. So 1 point equals $20. And right here, that distance is 20 points big. Now, I'm just going to bring up, over the calculator. I know I'm not trying to assault anybody's intelligence, but if that distance is 20 points and each one of those points is worth 20 right there, that was an opportunity at $400. $400. Now, for Frank, it's a question of, well, how much would it cost you? Because for Frank to make that $72, he put all $2,000 in and walked away with $72. Okay. Well, on futures, Frank could have gotten that one contract, right? Because this is all based on one contract. Per contract, you get $20 per point. So how much would it cost to buy one contract? That is the question right here. The question is, well, Frank could have gotten a $25,000 account for $105. So he has $2,000. So how much of his capital is he using? Well, $2,000, and then he's putting $105 at risk. How so? Because again, the risk is the cost of the account. So now he has $105 at risk, and he still has $1,895 left of his own money. And then he can now buy one of those. Now, he could technically buy up to 3 of those, but in order to at least buy one, it would have cost him $105. And what did we just say that was worth? $400. So Frank could have used $105 to get $400, maybe even more had he bought more contracts. So $105 to get access at $400 or $2,000 to make $72. But let's say he played it way better. Let's say he made $300. Okay, $2,000 to make $300. Yet here we have where the only amount of money at risk is the 105, and he could have had access to that same move and gotten $400. So hopefully everybody sees why, Frank, you are totally wasting your time. It's a waste of capital. I don't know what you're doing. P.S. I hope this encourage everyone else to see that small wins could have been much better. Yeah, Frank. I don't. Yeah, I mean that's like the perfect example. Have been trading futures in Brazil for 8 years. Learned a lot from your videos. I know these videos are a lot of work, so just passing. Well, thank you, Rodrigo. So, Rodrigo, did you trade anything before you got into futures? Uh-oh. Did my screen just go blank? Can people see my screen? YouTube is showing that you are good? Okay. Well, that's weird. My screen is showing an error occurred. I wonder what happens if I refresh this page. If I go offline, I will be right back. Okay, there's my screen is back. All right, hopefully I didn't. No, that was weird. Okay. People can we get 6 more likes? And we're at 100. We were doing great. Well, that trend line there never came to fruition. We are getting closer to the 19,600 mark, which I did mention as an area that could be interesting. Let's keep this trend line in play. Okay, Rodrigo did stocks before. So next question. Like, are futures way better than stocks? What are your thoughts on that? You were doing pretty good with the NDX options. You pretty much, yeah. Until they got super hard to get filled, and it was just, and then you would get filled, and then you would get kind of, they got really fishy. I did a whole video, if you're curious, on why I went away from what I was doing on my site, but we'll show that maybe another time. Yeah, I'm thinking short, but it's dangerous. It has me worried because right here on the 5 minute, we got this pivot point right here. And this pivot point, you can see, broadly speaking, acted as resistance. And then when it was broken, you would expect a resistance to act as support. And that's essentially what it did right here. So is it going to act as support again? That's the one thing that's got me thinking long and very nervous to potentially get short right there. So I think I'm just going to observe right now. I know, BC. You just got to get into the game. You got to get into the game. In fact, I need to keep that screenshot that I had because I might make a video on that with Frank because that so illustrates the capital problems. There we go. Get that out of the way. Okay, that's saved. All right. What's up, Clay? Long-time listener of the podcast. Nice. Quick question. Whatever happened to Ches? Ches went off and did his own thing. He is now an owner of an excavating company, and he is crushing it out in Colorado. I still believe he trades futures, I believe, just way more toned back. But yeah, he went off, started doing his own thing, and like I said, he learned the skill of excavating, and then a couple years later, he started his own excavating company, and now by using social media, I think he's built quite a bit through marketing on that because he'll do like the Instagram videos and face and all that stuff, and he's crushing it. You see what I mean? It goes down after MA crossover. Well, then you know what, Thomas? I think you've discovered the holy grail. Just go short when the moving averages cross over, and it sounds like you're going to make money every time. Thomas has discovered the holy grail. Wait for the MA crossover, then go short. Who knew trading was that easy? Man. Good job, Thomas. My German brother. You just figured out trading. Wait for moving averages to do a bearish crossover and then go short. Because it goes down. All right. And the other, and 150 a month. I should also note, that the prop firms, it is per month during the test phase, which is why I do recommend people pass within a month, which is reasonable. Because after that, then this monthly fee goes away. Once you get to what's called the pro account, so after the test, you move into a pro account, there is no more monthly fee. So thank you for bringing that up, Frank. So yes, that's why I just say pretty much a one-time payment. I could get short here just for the sake of putting on a trade so people can kind of get an idea. I don't know if I love it. Maybe I can, let's do this. Let's let it come up through there. And then if it wants to come back down, maybe get short. With how I've lost accounts from how crazy futures can swing the opposite direction. Ain't no telling. Yeah. No, exactly. Can we get 5 more likes? Let's get this up to 100. Let's see if it wants to push up through there. Okay, I will get short if it wants to come back down to that red line now. Never mind. Risk profile. Oh, we got a double whammy. Look at that. Purple line and the trend line. $19.03 got triggered for you? Oh, wow. Mine says a low of... Yeah, maybe it did. Well, good trade. Good trade. What does it mean that you're still in the sim on the pro account? It means that you're still a simulator. It means that you're still in the sim. They'll pay you, though. Okay, let's do this. If it comes down here, I'll get short, and then I'll put my stop right up here. But if it violates through there, the risk profile is too much, so never mind. Well, tried. How's the new place? Very nice. Granted, we're in a temporary house right now until we build. But yeah, overall, it actually just started the pole barn on Monday. Starting to build the pan, because we're doing a pole barn first, and then we're going to build the house. Well, that's why it's nice to wait for confirmation, because had I just stepped in front of that train, I would have been... But yeah, that, I just can't buy that trend line, or I can't buy that right there. I mean, it started down here and all the way up here. To me, that feels overextended, but I was wrong. Can you keep the money you make in the test phase? No. Nope. Well, if anybody, I don't know, even if anybody did buy that break, I mean, if you scalped it out, I'm glad it worked for you. But goodness, that was kind of risky on your part. Did the state give you free land to move there? Yeah, that would have been nice. No. If by free you mean me handing somebody money, then yeah, they gave me some free land. The test phase of simulation and the pro account is still too. But if you're really good in the test or in the pro account, then they move you to the pro plus, because that is live. Because a super good trader would bankrupt the prop firm. And that's also why I like Take Profit Trader, because they have a sustainable business model. They're like, no, if you're a super good trader, we need to get you live, or else you're going to bankrupt our company. Does the money you make reset from sim to pro, then pro plus? No. Nope. They just move everything over in proportion. 2 more likes. Who was that? Somebody had a really nice buy. And I lost track of it a little bit. Who was that? I mean, they called it out, so credit to them. Who was that? Where did he go? I missed. Somebody bought right down around here. I didn't think it went low enough for them to get filled, but they said they got filled. But yeah, good job. Congratulations. I don't know where their messages went. Wow, just straight up grind right now. And just again, for those you're wondering, like maybe you're thinking, oh well, this move is whatever. Let's think about this move. Down here is at, let's just call it 610 so we can keep the math easy. 610, and now it just hit 680. So that's a difference of 70, meaning that's 70 points that it's moved right now. So if you just did, one contract, again, how much is 1 point worth per contract on the volatile ones? $20. And I said this thing just moved 70 points. So we got to multiply that by 70. So right here, this movement, $1,400 per contract. So, I mean, if you had 3 contracts, and again, on the smaller, I'm not advising you do this or anything like this, just do the numbers. So you could have gotten access to 3 of the very volatile contracts. Again, these are the contracts where every point is worth $20. You'd have gotten 3 of those for $105 worth of risk. So that means we got to multiply this number by 3. And there you go. That movement right here, potential $4,200. And when, again, your risk is 105. Because, again, worst case scenario, it goes down, you lose $1,500, you fail the test, or you blow up your pro account. Well, you still have that potential. And in the pro account, those are the gains that you can start to request. Oh, thank you, JD. JD, yeah, congrats, JD. I was looking for your message earlier. I couldn't find you, but good job on that trade. Now, I'm totally going, yeah, this is kind of, this would be a pretty sketchy short if I did that. Okay, so that's actually the trend line that it's stuck at right now. That one right there. I mean, I could do something with a very tight stop. Yeah, I don't think the odds are too much in my favor, but we'll just let the good times roll regardless. So buy stop. So very tight risk. So even if this thing's about to explode upwards, so be it. But if it wants to get rejected off the trend line, then we'll see what happens. Again, if you're new to futures, watch this number down here. If I get filled, and ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number's moving around? If you think it's too slow, I'll give you the the solution to how you can make the movement quicker. Because part of Pam's plan, one of the great arguments for futures, is their movement and your ability to control it. There we go. We're filled. So again, watch that number, and if it's too slow for you, no problem. What time frames are most effective in this? I mean, time frames, that's just up to you. Whatever you think works best for you. I like the 2-minute. Let's get some more movement down here. So right now it's kind of back testing that breakout point right there. Okay, let's make this a winning trade. Yeah, probably got a little too aggressive on that. But I was trying to give it time to come down. It wasn't exactly coming down. So I was not liking that. And like I said, it wasn't a totally high probability trade anyways. So I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with it. And yes, right now I want to see this break out. So then I look really smart. There's my confession too. The confession of a YouTube streamer. Please break out so I look smart to have gotten tight with the stop. Do not come down. Please just break out for my own ego. For my own ego. Break. Oh, come on. One more like. One more like. What's the best time for? It's different for everybody. I know nothing about you. I don't. It's hard to say. I don't know. There are too many variables that go into trading. Like literally the mentorship that I offer, which reminds me, I am such a bad salesman. I am so terrible. Oh, go back up. Don't come back down. Goodness, I have not talked about anything that I offer. I am seriously, I'm the worst salesman you'll ever meet. But if anybody is interested, next week, Thursday, I will be doing a free webinar where I talk about the tools I'm using, how to build consistency, how to manage risk, and really, to build a foundation for you. Way too many show up, and they think they're doing things that make sense. They think they're going about things in wise ways, but they're actually not. So a lot of this class is just sharing my story, but then also showing how my story created a framework that I would argue all traders should be operating within, why the framework works, why the framework is important, how it allows consistency to be built, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the chat right now. Man, I am so... How did I not remember to do this until an hour and 30 minutes in? So yeah, click that link. And I didn't even do the... I didn't even tag the comment for the link for the prop firm. Prop firm I use and recommend. I'm such... I'm so terrible at this. All right, let's pin that at least. There we go. There we go. Okay, see, I'm smart. Look at that. It did keep going up. So I'm glad I got out where I did. But yeah, if you want to learn, it's a free webinar. So make sure you sign up for that. I do offer other things too. But anyways, what made me... Oh, because I was thinking about my mentorship. So yeah, Jim Lee, I mean, it's hard to know. Because I don't know anything about you. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know your schedule. I know nothing about you. But that's why the mentorship program, that's part of it is, you know, you have direct access to me. We talk things, we figure things, you know, out. I kind of get to know more. Then I can offer better fine-tuned insight. But as of right now, I don't know because I know nothing about you. My personal account? No way. I'm in a prop firm. Pam's Plant. Come on, Alfaro Trader. Don't you know about Pam's Plant? Right here, Pam's Plant. I like this right here. Added risk control. Protect your money. How is my money being protected right now? Well, my money is being protected because the only money right now at risk, if I could find the window, my only money at risk is the cost of the account. So right here, if you're in a $25,000 account, your money at risk is 105. If you decide to do another size prop firm account, let's just say 75, your money, quote unquote, at risk is right there, 171. But you get $2,500 in, we'll call it learning, right? If you blow that and you're like, oop, whoops, that was painful, but I learned a lot. I would rather have the but I learned a lot cost me 171 compared to 2,500 of your own money. So no, I'm not trading my own money. Pam's Plant. There we go. $104 likes. Very good, very good. Well, I know you trade the open with stocks, which is what I do. So I'm asking, does that translate to the futures in this simulation as well? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by transfer. I'm not trying to be difficult, Jim, but I don't know. I don't know. Just because you trade the open, I don't know how you trade the open. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish in the open. That's what I mean. I get it. I'm not trying to be difficult, but you're asking very broad, open-ended questions. That's like saying, I drive a car at 9:30 a.m. Well, what kind of car do you drive? Where are you driving? Where are you trying to get to? Do you need to be there by a certain time? Like, there's a lot more variables than I drive at 9:30 a.m. Okay? So again, not trying to be difficult, but I don't want to just give you a half-hearted answer. Have you traded? No, I have not done any copy trading yet. Nope. Okay, Mark. So good. Thank you for your disclosure. I appreciate the transparency, Mark. So Mark blew some take profit trader accounts today. So if you don't mind me asking, how many accounts did you blow? Was it those 250Ks? We're gonna have a good lesson in just how prop firms allow you to leverage your capital. Okay, so here we go. So Mark in the chat blew his 2 accounts, but yesterday he was telling us how he's gotten 2 payouts for an overall amount of $4,500. So let's look at what Mark has done from a capital perspective. So this is just going to prove Pam's Plant. So he had 2 accounts. So let's do some math right here. So he had 2 50,000 accounts, which he paid 119. I don't know. We're just going to go with this. Maybe he did this a previous deal, but he did 119 times 2. Okay, so he had $238 in. And then he made, ultimately, $4,500. So he passed the test, he got to the pro accounts, and then he was able to request $4,500. So in other words, and then he blew up the accounts. So in the pro accounts, today he did something and he lost 2,000 in both of them. So the account's gone. Now we can always get new accounts and everything again. But those accounts are gone. But again, how much did that actually cost him? Well, it cost him $238, right? Because that he had two accounts and each one cost $119. But how much did he make? Well, he made $4,500 before he blew up the account. So $238 divided by 4,500. No, I think you got to do it the other way. Right? 4,500 divided by 238. Yeah, minus 1 times 100. No, that's not right. Anyways, no, that couldn't have been 1,700. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, here we go. I don't. We'll see. We'll double check. Okay. So the amount he had invested was $238. The amount he got was $4,500, right? That's how much. So let's calculate. No, all right. I was right. I didn't believe myself. I was like, man, is it really that much? No, it was that much. So there it is. He got an 1,800% return on his investment. So do you see Pam's plan? Pam's plan. Like, are you serious? Talk about low capital requirement. You have that added in risk control. You have possibility of nuclear explosion growth. There it was, because he was copy trading. We just witnessed it right there. He had a total investment. That's funny. I was like, I think I did the math right, but I don't believe that number. That seems too crazy. So he bought two accounts. That's where his investment came from. That was his amount at risk, $238. Before blowing up those accounts, so before, technically he lost that $238, but before losing that, he drew out $4,500 in profits. So an 1,800% return on investment on those accounts. So that is Pam's plan. Trading futures through a prop firm. A lot of good reasons here, but just based on the Capital One alone, I mean, that is some good stuff. So good job, Mark, on your 1,800% return on investment. I'm going to be hard-pressed to find something that beats that. And I'm also glad that I can still apparently do math. Even though that was hilarious. I'm like, no, that can't be right. Buy the breakout. I don't know what breakout. I'm in the 5-day test phase in 2 new accounts already. Yeah. And that's the other nice thing is once you get pro accounts, I would still say to keep doing past ones so you kind of have a stable ready of ones to pass. Hey, $10. I made the jump to futures after day trading for 1 month. Nice thing about futures, you don't need scanners, just charts. That's Pam's plan. Really appreciate the great content. What's the purple line on your chart? Thank you, Drino. The purple line, well, I'm going to tell you all of them. The green line here is the 21 EMA, exponential moving average. Purple line is the 50 SMA, simple moving average. And then somewhere else, the dotted yellow is the VWAP. And then the pink line is the 200 SMA. But yes, nice thing about futures, you don't need scanners. Exactly. And that is right here, the second S of Pam's plan. Stop scanning. Save your time. Save your money. You don't have to go out there and buy scanners. I know companies, people that have created platforms that have scanners built in, and they're trying to get my platform. It's got built-in scanners. It's like, yeah, no, we don't need that platform. We don't need scanners. We need a prop firm, and we're going to trade futures. There we go. A lot less. And then we can use more money for prop firms, for accounts. So, I mean, yeah, I feel sorry for the scanner companies out there because it is my mission. I'm going to let people know, sorry, there are better ways. There are better ways. And if you have a problem with it, overcome Pam's plan. I issued the challenge earlier for people to try to overcome Pam's plan, and they weren't able to do it. You know, all anybody has been able to do with Pam's plan is attack me. Ad hominem fallacy. Well, you're just talking about all that stuff because you'll get paid if they use your link. You're just doing that stuff because you're a shill. You're just doing that stuff because you have no moral foundation and you're just trying to make money. It's like, okay, let's just assume all those things are true. Yes, that's exactly why. What does that have to do with Pam's plant? You're not addressing Pam's plant. You're not actually attacking this. You're attacking me. You're attacking my motivations. Attack this. Tell me how what you're doing is better than Pam's plant. I got to remember to get this part out of the way. Nope. There we go. So right there, that is Pam's plant. Again, my contention is if you are a day trader and you're doing stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you are wasting your time. All those things are terrible, and you are not using your capital wisely. You're not using your capital efficiently. It is a waste of your time. And if that offends you, if you think you have a good reason, then here is my reasoning. Pam's plant. Please try to overcome Pam's plant. Let me know how what you're doing is better than trading futures through a prop firm. I welcome the challenge. Bring it on. Try to overcome Pam's plant. And I've had nobody being able to overcome it. All the best they've been able to do is attack me, which again, you're attacking me. You're attacking my motives. You're not attacking Pam's plant. I'm asking you, disprove, overcome Pam's plant. Not going to happen. If you like Pam's plant, hit that like button. Hit that like button for Pam's plant. Ignore them. Well, no, I don't want to ignore them. I'm a big believer in having the strongest argument possible. So if somebody has an argument against me, please, by all means, I have zero ego. Like if I'm wrong about something, I'll say I'm wrong. Like, oh, you know what? That's a good point. Let me reconsider my thoughts. I find that very stimulating intellectually. I like that. So I want the strongest arguments possible, but the only way to get the strongest argument possible is to hear counter arguments. So I don't want to ignore those sorts of people. I want to hear them out, make sure that Pam's plan is as strong as what I think Pam's plan is. Blew up my $25,000 account and also bought a 50 account using your code. Well, thank you, K-Storm. And as I've confessed here, I blew up a $150,000 account yesterday. I've blown up multiple accounts. Blowing up account is part of it, but it all goes back to that whole capital management. If you're going to blow up an account because of a nasty move or you do something really stupid, I would rather have your risk just be the cost of the account rather than your own money and losing $1,500 or something crazy like that. Pass all sizes except, okay, Nathan, that makes me feel better. I have not passed a 75,000 either, but I've never tried a 75,000. Did you come up with Pam's plant? I did. Pam's plant, because I've been making this argument, and I'm like, I got to keep all my thoughts in one place. So last night, I kind of was, it took a while. Best I could do. I'm not claiming that's the best way to summarize my argument, because I realize Pam's has 2 S's, and it should only have 1. I get it, but that's the best I could do. Something that seems off is that my other real life trading platforms show the MNQ at a different price level. This gives me the impression of manipulation. Now, I'm not trying to pick at it. It just seems... Okay, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely not any sort of difference. If there is a difference, that would have been discovered a long time ago. A long time ago. I mean, the prop firm space is kind of crazy. There's kind of there's a lot of drama. That's why I don't get involved in, multiple prop firms. I just like to stick with Take Profit Trader. I like them. I like their payout policy. But yeah, Jim, if that was actually true, if that was what was going on, that would have been exposed a long time ago because prop firms are not anything new. They've been around for years now. Oh yeah, good. Yeah. And exactly, yeah. Evil Shaddix is probably, there are different MNQs. So are you sure that it is, yeah, you might be looking at different contracts or something like that. Check which contract you are, yeah, exactly, Brian. Simulations could be a few seconds difference. I don't know. A few seconds, that's kind of a long time. All right, we got about 15 minutes. Anybody else here in the central United States? So I'm in Iowa, and we're supposed to get some strong storms. And we were under like a wind advisory, so I was just waiting for the power to go out. But so far, so good. So far, so good in that regard. You're in Minnesota. Are you supposed to get any of these storms? The maps I saw, I don't think it went up to Minnesota, but maybe I'm wrong on that. A pullback here could get interesting. Pullback here to this kind of congestion area. Oh, you missed us in Michigan. If I said I missed that, I might be not being totally honest. Oh, yeah, Nebraska. James, yeah, I know Nebraska. You're supposed to get some storms. But anyways, I'm glad that it's looking like we'll get the entire live stream in. But I'd love to try to get one more trade. We haven't even done a 5. Well, that's because I haven't necessarily seen anything. Be kind of a buzzkill to go red, but yeah, if I go 5 and I'm wrong, then that's all going away. Not that that's a lot. White's family from Midland area. Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with Midland. Okay, refreshed it and fixed the differential. There we go, Jim. Good. Glad you got it figured out. Let's just go with we'll go with 3. And if I go red, that's okay. This is just I'm the crash test dummy. No. Well, I wanted to go long here. Now that's too much chasing. My risk profile changed. Come on. All right, if this wants to come back down, we'll go with 3. Hey, Noah. $109 likes. This is great. This is great. And this one is looking like it might be leaving me behind. All right, well, we'll cancel those out. Oh, do I buy the breakout? That's too scary. That's too scary. If you have, I don't know. Now, if you have a bunch of cushion on the day, like let's just say this number down here was, I don't know, 210, 2100. That's like, yeah, I'm not opposed to going smaller size, buying the breakout, because you know that if you're wrong, you're still going to be, green. But I do not have the cushion. So that's why it's a little bit scarier for me. So I would not call you Let me put it this way. If you would be at risk of giving your gains and then going into the weekend red, I don't know if I'd buy that breakout. But if you have cushion within your gains, and yeah, if you assuming you're lowering size and making sure that if you're wrong, that you're not giving back all your gains, and yeah, I could see buying that. But I'm not in the position to do so. My capital, my position on the day makes it too scary for me. Now, what about shorting? I could see a short there. I mean, you'd have a very tight stop. Short right there, stop a little bit above the highs. I could see that. Too scary. It has room to 19,740. Yeah, and it also has potential to just get rejected off these areas and do a fake break. Yes, it is too scary for me. Maybe you just showed up, dividend cake, but for my current position, I'm up this amount right now. If I buy the breakout and I'm wrong, that number is going red. I don't want to go red. But, dividend cake, if you are up $210 or $2,100, then by all means, what were you saying, dividend cake? Too scary. It has room to 19.7. Exactly, dividend cake. So I hope you didn't buy that trade because you're getting crushed right now, dividend cake. So yes, it was too scary. So dividend cake, I like dividends, so I hope you didn't buy. I hope you were scared like I was. And if anything, I hope you took the short like I mentioned. You could get short there with a very tight stop. Those people just got paid big time. But again, I was not in the position to really do either because I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room. Today was a little bit of a different day, which is setting up the experiment and all that. Relax. If only it were that easy. If only it were as easy as following what the ES did. The ES broke out, therefore this is going to follow. If only trading were that easy. So relax. Hopefully you didn't take the trade. And with all due respect, I'm glad I did not take your advice because I would have just been crushed there. And that is why it's a pet peeve of mine. The ES just broke high of day. NQ is going to follow. It is? So you went all in. I don't think you went all in because you did not mean it is going to follow because that implies a guarantee. You meant it could follow. It's probable to follow, but it is going to follow. If you actually meant that, then you went all in right there. And which just proved, no, it's not going to follow. There are no guarantees. But yes, that is a self-admitted pet peeve when people speak in certainties. Oh, this is going to follow. No, nothing is going to happen. And if anybody ever catches me talking in a guaranteed way, please call me out in the chat room so you can and hit me in the face with a proverbial shovel. Because I do my best to always talk in coulds, probables, possiblies, because there are no guarantees. Where did Dividend Cake go? Are you okay, Dividend Cake, or are you shopping for a cardboard box right now because you lost it all? Yeah, Nathan, you are way far behind. Nathan says it's too small, huh? Well, fine. That's why we're going to call it experiment. You have submitted your hypothesis for the experiment. We'll see if your hypothesis is right or wrong. But yes, you are definitely commenting on things from a very long time ago. Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't lose anything. Depends on your risk profile. Exactly, Dividend Cake. So I'm not quite... why were you asking me too scary? I don't think you would need to... If you understood that we had different risk profiles, then why would you say too scary? Shouldn't your conclusion have been, oh, he has a different risk profile than I do? Come on, Dividend. Makes sense in your logic. You questioning too scary. Had you actually meant depend on your risk profile, you would never have said that in the first place. But to be fair, maybe you showed up a tad bit late after I explained why. I know people. I know I can't. Like I will be the first to admit, like if I was wrong about something, I'll just say it. But I'm not going to try to backtrack. Like Dividend Cake is now just kind of rehashing what I said. Well, it depends on your risk tolerance. Yeah, no, exactly. But that's not what you were implying when you're like, what do you mean it's too scary? Well, yeah, it's too scary for my risk profile. Having some fun probing you. Oh. Well, hopefully you're just probing my mouth. Or my ear. Well, you're not doing any alien probing, are you, Dividend Cake? What kind of probing are we talking? Not alien, right? You're not going to take me to your spaceship, are you? That was built with dividend payments and you eat a lot of cake? Yeah, that probably didn't sound better. I was thinking like a doctor. Like if a doctor wants to, put the thermometer under my tongue, that's fine. That's fine. But I agree. That probably didn't sound like I thought it would, but welcome to the world of live streaming. I don't. Dividend Cake said he's probing me. I mean, no, that's fine. I'm long biased too, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be scared to try to buy that. Again, here we go. I'm starting to become a better salesman. Don't miss out on this webinar next week. It'll go through the tools I'm using, how I'm building, build consistency, manage risk, and just making sure you have the right framework. Way too many people show up in the markets and they don't actually have the right framework. They think they're doing things smart. They think they're going about things the right way, but they're actually not, which is fine when you're new and you don't know what you don't know. Part of that is, am I actually doing this the smart way? So like I said, I'll share my story here and show how kind of my story illustrates a lot of why I'm where I'm at, why I'm using tools the way I am, what should be the main focus of a trader. So we'll go over that and a lot more. So like I said, that'll be next week, Thursday. Click on that link right there, get signed up. Good. Hey, look, I'm becoming a better salesman. Now, do I buy that for a quick scalp? Maybe. I use 2 code collected. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Just for fun, can we get up to 115 likes? I think that would be a new record. 115. Can we get up to 115 likes? Who's buying this breakout? We know Dividend Cake is. I don't. He might be too busy probing somebody else right now. I don't know. Who is going to buy that breakout? I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'll admit, this pullback here, this has been a pretty impressive recovery. Keep an eye whether you take the trade. Huh? What does that mean? I'm just asking, if is anybody, are you buying the breakout dividend cake? Oh, Frank's still going back to SUNE. Frank, come on. Come on, Frank. Like I said, this has got me interested. It's whispering in my ear right now. It's probing my ear right now. Me and Cake Trader, it's probing our ears. And then it pulls back. Again. Now we're almost at 2 hours. And I've noticed 2 hours is kind of my point where I get mentally tired. But if this thing can go something like this and keep, so if it goes sideways like that and then breaks out, what's nice about that sort of action is at least, you'd be able to, put a stop somewhere right around there, right? Keep the risk nice and minimal. And then if you get the breakout, then your potential reward would be a whole lot more than the risk. But as of right now, it's starting to drop down too much. But like I said, if this wants to recover back up and, build some sort of low like up here and then make a move. But if it's going to do something like this, where all the lows are down here, then, basically you got to put your stop right here, but you're buying way up there. And now look at this big old risk that you're taking. For me, I don't know how I like about that risk profile. Especially, again, given where I'm at. Now, if I was up $2,100 on the day, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I don't mind that. Made $2,500 in sim mode on Tradeovate and lost it all. Well, I experienced that yesterday when I blew the account. So yeah, it can happen. Why don't you have MACD? Because I don't care about the MACD. Thomas, why are you using all that other stuff? Thomas, remember you found the Holy Grail earlier? You said if crossover or if the moving averages cross down over one another, it's going to go down. So I don't think you need that other stuff. Okay, and if this thing wants to come up and then go sideways a little bit, like I said, I need a stop loss location higher than where it is right now. I don't like needing to have even right there. Now it's right in front of the 50-period moving average. So yeah, it's just not very clean. Unless somebody else sees a more logical stop loss location. But yeah, right now it's just not very, yeah, it's tough. Now what possibly could make sense, what's that? 57. Yeah, all right, I'll take that trade. I'd buy here. Put the stop down there for 3. Clay, I just started taking nicotine gum to improve my focus. Have you tried them? Nicotine gum? Isn't that the addictive stuff? What's the addictive part in cigarettes? It's the nicotine, isn't it? Assuming I am correct, then no, I don't have any interest in putting addictive stuff into my body. You think? Don't you think that would be something smart? Don't you think that would be something good to know before you start chewing on it? In my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, I would like to know at least a little something about what I'm chewing on, especially if it's nicotine. I think I would want to know, is nicotine, is that addictive stuff? But no, to answer your question, I do not chew nicotine gum. KC, you still haven't joined. KC told me last week they were going to join. Still no KC. Nicotine gum is used to wean people off of cigarettes. Yeah, but I don't think that's why Mohammed's using it. It sounds like he's using it to improve his focus. I would suggest Mohammed getting a good night's rest, drinking water, to have best focus. Do some exercise. Those are some good ways to have good focus. Good night's rest. Drink water. Try not to have like 18 donuts for breakfast. I actually fast. I do intermittent fasting, so I find myself most focused in a fasted state. You eat food, then you got the carbs, it just makes me tired. Oh, Casey, no, you're right. You did say you were sick, and I know that stuff's going around for sure. You did say that. Now we remember you saying that. Well, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Sorry about that. You mentioned that you were not feeling well a few days ago. That is, well, sometimes you gotta, again, I like the risk profile there. I didn't like it anywhere up here. So you just can't, if you don't like the risk profile, you can't take the trade. That's really trading in a nutshell. If you don't like the risk profile, you can't take the trade. What? I thought we were supposed to be focused on how much money we can make in a trade. No, that's actually not what trading's about. Trading's about risk management. All right, I'll cancel that out. Where to see you trade futures with the prop firm? Haven't seen you videos in over a year, and this was not your thing. Very interesting to see you give it a try. Oh yeah, it's my thing now, Joe. Been in it since November. Pam's Plant. Pam's Plant is where it's at. Sounds good, Casey. And again, sorry about that. Yeah, no, Pam's Plant is where it's at. And maybe, so what is Pam's Plant? I offer this up to everybody that if you trade stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you are wasting your time, you're wasting your capital because of Pam's Plant. Why? Well, if you're a stock trader or an options trader, you have to deal with the pattern day trend rule. In futures, there's no pattern day trend rule. Futures are open pretty much around the clock. So there's always a place that you're going to be able to fit them into your schedule. They have great movement and you can control the movement. So they're moving a lot. You can control it via position size and with the amount of the way the contracts work. Fantastic movement and the ability to control it. You can short whenever. Think about you penny stock traders or you micro cap traders that I want to short a penny stock. I want to short a micro cap, a small cap. Well, yeah, then you got to go locate shares. You have to pay locate fees. You have to do all this stuff in order to be able to short one of those stocks that are very volatile anyways, which is crazy. With futures, nope, you can just short whenever you want. No hassle, no extra fees. You don't have to scan. You are going to know what you're going to trade every day. So you don't have to wake up early to run your scans. You don't have to find the hot cryptos, the hot stocks, what's moving, none of that. So you don't have to spend money on scanners. You don't have to waste your time with scanners. And then when it comes to the plant, prop firm power, trade futures through a prop firm. There is low capital required. The one that I'm using, the one that I recommend, has very, very little capital needed to get started. You can see right here, you could get $50,000 of purchasing power for $119. That allows you to buy 6 of the very volatile contracts or 60 of the less volatile contracts. So very, very little money is required. And then think about that 119 because that is your money at risk. Because if you fail, if you blow up the account, that's all it costs you. The cost of the account, you will lose the account, but it only cost you what you had. So that is where the low or the added risk comes into play. Added risk control. You have very little at risk, so that's a built-in risk mechanism. Plus, prop firms put rules upon you that are going to force you to manage risk, and that is a good thing. As traders, we need to be focusing on risk. So I have no problem if people are going to impose rules upon you that force you to focus on risk control, risk management. That is also a good thing. N, nuclear explosion growth because you can copy trade. With Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts and then you can copy. So you can make one trade but copy that trade onto 4 other accounts. So if you make one trade and it's $200, well, technically you just made $1,000 because that one trade for $200 you copied onto your 4 other accounts. And then tax reporting is easy. A prop firm, Take Profit Trader, when it's tax time, they will send you a 1099 and that's it. So you will hand your accountant a 1099 form and you are good to go. So Pam's Plant. Again, if I have offended you by saying that day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading Forex or day trading crypto is garbage. It's a waste of your time. It's an inefficient use of your capital. If I've offended you, I am welcome to pushback. I'm welcome for you to try to overcome Pam's plan. But I've yet to have anybody be able to overcome Pam's plan. People attack me personally. You're a shill. You're just saying that because you get affiliate links. You're just saying that because you have no moral foundation. I mean, I've been attacked, but okay, let's just assume all those things are true. What does that have to do with Pam's plan? Attack the argument. Attack Pam's plan. Don't attack me. Don't attack my motives. Attack the argument. Attack Pam's plan. And I have not seen anybody being able to overcome Pam's plan. So yes, the best way to go about trading, assuming you want to be a day trader, is futures through a prop firm account. Pam's plan, I dare you. I welcome the challenge from a stock, option, Forex, or crypto trader to overcome Pam's plan. Tell me how your thing is better than Pam's plan. I've not seen it. I have not seen it. I won't. Yeah, Frank's saying, hey, you're not wrong. Frank, yeah, next week, you better ditch those stocks. If you want more from the 100 plus likes, share more technical idea and trade. Less on advertising. Sham, I'm trying to have, okay, here's what Sham does not understand. I'm going to turn Sham into a learning lesson here. If you want more from 100 likes, I'm at 117, share more technical ideas. I've shared technical ideas. That's what I've been doing. We have this trend line. I mapped out, I had an order out there. I've shared technical ideas. So I share the idea and trade, less on advertisement. Now, I've done like 2 advertisements this whole time. I'm a terrible salesman. And nicotine. Well, the nicotine was just a conversation to have while we wait for this stuff to play out. I think Shyam is one of the traders that's like, Shyam, you probably make about 400 trades a day, don't you? And of the day, 350 is probably in the first hour. Because you're like, I need to make a trade. Make a trade. Okay, no, make a trade. Dude, calm down. You got to wait. You got to be patient in trading. Would you rather have me just sit here in silence? Is that what we would like, Sham? I mean, yes, we'll talk about whatever. Nicotine came up, so while we wait for technicals to play out, we talked about nicotine. I mean, I'm not going to just trade for the sake of you trading. So thank you for the feedback, Shyam. I appreciate the feedback, but within it, I am sensing a weakness within your trading. So if I had to put on my crystal ball, no, you don't put on a crystal ball. If I pulled out my crystal ball, I would say that you suffer from overtrading. I bet you suffer from forcing trades. I bet that is a weakness. That is my, like claytrader.com started in 2013. Been working with traders for over 10 years now. I've seen a lot. So what I've seen, I bet you struggle with overtrading and forcing trades. I bet that's where it's at. Does Take Profit Trader accept European traders? Yep. They accept people from Germany. I suffer from overtrade. No, exactly. I mean, it's a live stream. I can't sit here in silence so I could give a technical idea and then just sit here in silence while we wait. Or we could just shoot the breeze, talk about stuff. I like to shoot the breeze. I like to talk about stuff. I like to talk about Pam's plant. And look at that. Right off that trend line again. Now, what is becoming very interesting is, we could get a very nice risk profile. Because check it out. If this thing keeps going sideways, because we have the 50 period right there that you could use as a stop. So let me try to illustrate this out. Are we over 2 hours? We're over 2 hours. All right. So let me illustrate this out. Let's say the purple line continues to look like that, right? And then we get, and because that yellow line is sloping downwards. So notice what's happening with the risk profile. Let me just point that out. So what's happening with the risk profile is it's getting smaller and smaller. So you could, if it doesn't break out to like right here, look at that. Look how tight the stop is. Whereas previously, if you're going to use a purple line as your stop and you're buying the breakout right there, look how far down it is. Does everybody see how this box is quite a bit bigger than that box? So does everybody see how the risk profile is getting more and more attractive? Because you could play the breakout or get out very, very nicely. Flip side is also true. If you want to play the breakdown or get out and you want to use that trend line as your stop, but the further it consolidates, the better the risk profile becomes. So this is a very attractive setup, but I don't know how much more mental capital I have left. We are over 2 hours, and yeah, I would say 2 hours is definitely my kind of my point. Mine max trade is 10 in a day. Usually I do it early morning, go with the flow. That's it. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. You seem to think that people need to be trading all the time. Or at least that's what you expect out of me. So, I mean, worst case, you're lying. Best case, you're not holding me to the same standards that you hold. Because it sounds like you're a pretty disciplined trader. So why do you want me to just go out there and be undisciplined and just trade for the sake of trading? So I'll assume you're being honest. That would be my question. Man, why aren't you holding me to those standards? Because that's a good standard you have. Good job. You're not forcing trades. Fantastic. Well, don't push me into doing something that you know is a bad standard. Encourage me to have a good standard like you have a good standard. Come on, Cheyenne. You're better than that. I want to be held to your standard because it sounds like you have a good standard. So again, there's right off that purple line. So yeah, the more it comes, the better the risk profile becomes. Oh man, now I feel like I mean, this is a nice little setup. Could send me red, but that's, I mean, at this point, it's $21. So yeah, if this wants to come down through here, I'm going to get short. And if it wants to come up through the trend line, I'll get long. The purple line is the 50-period simple moving average. Why take Profit Trader versus other prop firms like Apex or TopSpec? Because the payment policy is way better at Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader allows you to request money whenever you want and in any amount that you want. All right, I'm in. Let's see if we can get some continuation here. Take one out at that green line if it wants to give me some more momentum. So my thesis is this is the longs freaked out. We'll see if I'm right or wrong on that. How did it not take me out at that green line? There we go. Okay, this will be a winning trade. I'll let my two final ones roll with me. I'll move my stop down as we go. But this will be a winning trade regardless because my stop loss is in front of my entry point. But I'm not going to move it down until we can get down through the 640 mark, if we can get down through there. Uh-oh. Don't bounce. All right, and now I'm out there. So there we go. So there you go, Cheyenne. I mapped out some technicals. I gave an idea. We did have to wait for it. So we did talk about nicotine, but it happened, and there we go. So Cheyenne, that's just how it's gonna go, okay? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I should have had another one down here to try to take out one more instead of just riding two with the stop, but whatever. I'm so mentally toasted right now. It's crazy. I didn't ask to trade. For me, you are the pro. I'm expecting some technical analysis right now. Oh, brother. All right. I don't know. Sorry, Cheyenne. I thought I gave some technical analysis. I thought I gave technical analysis, and then I thought we talked about nicotine while we were waiting for the technical analysis to play out. So I apologize. I will try to do more technical analysis in the future. Thank you for your feedback. But again, why do I like Take Profit Trader? Because other prop firms, when it's time to get paid, other prop firms would be like, well, no. You can only request payment, even though you've made the money, you can only request payment every couple of weeks. And you're only allowed to request up to a certain amount. Whereas Take Profit Trader, as soon as you get into the pro account and you start making money, they say, nope, you can request that money. You can request money every single day if you want. And you can request as much money as you want every single day. To me, that makes Take Profit Trader so much better. So much better. What's your expected timeline to reach the profit goal? 5 days? Well, in this experiment, Paulo, I have no idea. This is an experiment. I don't even know if it's possible. The goal is ideally in a month using 5 micros, but I don't know. I don't know. That's why this is an experiment. That's why I'm the crash test dummy with this experiment. I just signed in and I hear technical analysis right away. I thought I was giving some technical analysis. That's what I thought. I thought I kind of mapped out that trade. I thought I just took the trade for the short side, and I thought it worked out, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Anything else? I didn't. Hey, Tom Petty, the Heartbreakers, great band. R.I.P. Tom Petty. Yeah. All right. Well, I am going to go into some advertisement here. So Cheyenne, you might want to leave. You might want to leave. So one final time, I am doing a webinar. Oh, whoops, did I never put that back on there? But I am doing a webinar next week. Walk you through how, the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, manage risk, and just give you a framework that you need to operate in. Please don't show up to this if you're like, oh, so you're going to teach us the Holy Grail? No. In fact, one of the points is to stop looking for Holy Grails. Oh, you're going to teach us the great system? No. I'm going to teach you a framework, but there are no Holy Grail systems, okay? So please don't sign up if that's what you're expecting. But if you want to have, if you want to get a good reference point, if you want to get a good and position yourself in the spot that's going to put you in the best position possible, then yeah, sign up. I'll put a I'll put a link. Okay, now my voice is starting to go. I'll put a link in the chat. Please get signed up for it right there. And would love to have you next Thursday. So Thursday, March 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So keep in mind the Eastern right there. Again, I just put the link in there. One final technical thing. I'm an idiot, but what I could see potentially, depending on how much this comes up, I could see potentially, again, just me thinking out loud, potentially getting short right there with a stop up above there, and then looking for continuation. And that should have been an arrow probably to the downside. I could see maybe something like that making sense, but you don't want this candle to push up too far before coming back down, because then that is, again, you're going to hear me say it again, that's going to throw off the risk profile. So trading options is very doable to a newbie in the stock market. No, trading options is garbage, is absolute garbage. So you expect a newbie to understand all the Greeks? You expect a newbie to understand delta and theta and gamma and all those other Greeks? You expect a newbie to be able to understand what strike prices they should be trading? You expect a newbie to have to, remember, that newbie, so think about it. For those of you that trade options, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. When the price is going sideways like this, what is that doing to the option if you bought it? The option is losing value because of theta. So no, options is, okay, to be fair to you, you did say options trading is very doable. Agreed. It is doable. But is it wise? Is it efficient? It is not. It is not, because Pam's plant is way better. Pam's plan is way better. So I will take a step back. To be fair to you, you didn't say it was efficient. You didn't say it was, you just said it was doable. So it is doable, just not wise or efficient, because we started here. I think we're going to end here. That newbie is me. I haven't started just yet, but I'm still learning and I'm picking up fast. Okay, well, do futures through a prop firm. And here's why. Because of Pam's plant right there. That is why I would say, especially if you're a newbie and just getting started, mainly because of that rule right here. Rules. As a newbie, there is no better thing that you could have imposed upon you than rules that are going to force you to think about risk control. There's no better thing that you could ask for. And if you don't believe me, people, by all means, feel free to chime in the chat room. Say, like, yeah, risk control is pretty important within the world of trading. I get it. The fun thing to talk about is making money. Well aware. But the thing that actually matters is risk control. So as somebody that is a newbie, like you just said, boy, to have rules imposed upon you for risk control, that is very beneficial. I mean, there's a ton of other benefits, as you can see here, a part of Pam's plan. But right here, that would be very, very beneficial to you as a newbie or anybody as a newbie. So yes, if you want to get started with Pam's plan, go about things in the smart way, then I will leave you with this. Click this link. That'll make sure you get the promo. That'll make sure you get the good deal right now, which is the 30% off plus no activation fee. So get that link, use that link, and it will support the channel. Trading options is doable for covered calls and secured puts to create a cash flow if you have a portfolio. Dividend cake, you are right, but you're not in the category that I'm arguing from. I'm arguing from the category of, hey, I want to be a day trader. Hey, I want to day trade. That's the category that Pam's plant is within. But yes, what you described is not day trading. But I do agree. I have nothing against stocks in the investment category. I have lots of stocks. I have an investment portfolio of stocks. So I don't have anything against stocks in the category of investing. But in the category of, I want to be a day trader, I want to day trade, Pam's plant is where it's at, right there. Which is harder to pass in your opinion, the 25K or 150K? In my opinion, the proof, I've passed 25,000s. I've not been able to pass 150,000. But I have members in my community that have passed several 150,000s. And I don't know if they've ever even passed a 25 because the 25 might be too tight for them. So I don't know. But you are asking, in my opinion, so I'm going to reframe that. In my experience, 150,000 is more difficult than the 25, but that's my experience. But I've seen it work other ways for other people. But that is a talking point that is very debatable for sure. So, all right, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I am so roasted. All right, I am good. Again, make sure you check out those links. Pam's plant. It's all about Pam's plant. Just remember that. Get signed up. Get into the world of Pam's plant. And I've yet to hear anybody come back and be like, I don't like Pam's plant. Everybody's like, oh, Pam's plant. That's some good stuff. You're trying to sign up. Well, what are you struggling with? But it's not giving me your discount. Use code CLAY. You're not getting 30% off? Use that code. I'm clicked on the link and you're not getting, so when you see the prices, you're not seeing these prices. Can anybody else confirm that when they click on that link that I just put, they're not seeing the 30% off? Can anybody else confirm that? No, Frank, you don't need to create a Tradeovado account. The prop firm will do that for you. It's charging you $150. Okay, well then put in Clay at the code. Let me know what happens with that if you type in code Clay. The link works for you? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe you got to click on the link again or something. I have not heard. But if the link is not working, then do code Clay. Oh, dividend cake. You are such a sucker. Like they got you right where they want you. Yes, 80% off, but then it takes forever to ever get a payout. You could get a payout in theory with Take Profit Trader within 6 days. That 80% off company, you're going to be trading for at least 2 weeks before you have any chance at a payout. And then they're going to say, well, and you can only request $2,000. That's it. Even if you've made more than $2,000, they only let you request $2,000. So dividend cake, they got you probed hook, line, and sinker. How many days a week do you do live trading? I've been doing this every day this week. This deal is better because when it was 50% off, you still had to pay the activation fee. So once you pass the test to get into the pro account, there is normally a $130 activation fee. Right now, it's 30% off, but there is $0 activation fee. What's the pattern day trading rule again? There is none. You may day trade as much as you want. It has to be all caps. Correct, yeah. Code CLAY, C-L-A-Y, all caps. So relax, Ardu. Did it work for you then? Oh, that's a good point, Casey. Yeah. Take Profit Trader also. Oh, so when I do the prop firm, they will give me the Tradeovate access. Exactly. Yep. Which makes it super nice. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to go through the hassle of creating another brokerage or platform. They will do all that for you, and then they will send you your username and login. All right, Relaxer. Good. Well, first off, welcome to the world of Pam's plant. Second, thank you for using my code. I appreciate it. Stop asking so many good questions right when I'm trying to log off. Bunch of scumbags. Won't let me log off. I want to be done at 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes. Just keep the good content coming. I would like more guests on the pod. Oh, thank you for that feedback. Yeah, I kind of got burned out trying to track people down. So now if people want to volunteer, that's always good and appreciated. So, all right, well, how did this thing, whoops. Oh, that sure would have been nice. Maybe not. Maybe not. To be fair, maybe that would have pushed up too much, throwing off the risk profile. But I did say, you get short. You got enough of a move down. But I don't know. Probably would have depended on the trader if they felt comfortable or not with that risk profile, because it did push up some more. So you can buy several and just active one and pay on the one. Yes, once you go to pro. When you're CJ Mac, when you're doing the eval, you would have to pay monthly. So just pass those one at a time. But then once you get them passed, you don't have to activate them right away. So you can kind of keep them stored up if you want. But yeah, after that, once you get to the pro, there are no more monthly payments. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out. If you enjoy these, as always, hit that like button. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. Little things like that help out quite a bit, and I would really appreciate it. But everybody take care. Have a great weekend. For those of us, and for those of you in the central part of the United States, we're supposed to get some storms. So be safe. Everybody take care. Trade smart. Focused on those risk profiles. And yeah, I'll see everybody on Monday, assuming that the power doesn't get knocked out and that we're not out for a long time. But I'd hope it'd be back by Monday. But everybody have a good one. Take care.